Welcome to this evening's wine program. My name is Carla Bowman, and I'm very pleased to introduce Wanda Haynes, who is a sommelier and wine educator. Wanda is host of the award-winning Wine with Wanda on WCTV in Wadsworth, Ohio. She's a wine photographer and a wine lover. The topic of tonight's program is dessert wines and chocolates. And with that, I will turn it over to Wanda. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Wanda.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Even though it's over, happy Hanukkah. So my show, Wine with Wanda, on November 18th, won a Clapper Award for Best Informational Show. And I'm really proud of that. It was the show that was on Italian wines. So I'm really happy about that. Thanks, everybody, for voting. So I love chocolate. I was just telling our beautiful host that I grew up with a very generous great-grandmother who was very well-to-do, and she loved chocolates, very high-end, glamorous chocolates. And if you said nice things to her, she would let you have some of these chocolates. So I always said nice things to great-grandma so I could have one of those bonbons, the coconut ones with the pink frosting. I love those. But they pair beautiful with wines. They pair beautiful with dessert wines, late harvest wines, and things like sherry and ports, those types of wines, as well as sweet sparkling wines, and also off dry wines, wines that have low tannins for dark chocolate. So let's get right into it. Let me introduce you to a few wines that are going to pair beautifully with chocolates and with some of the chocolates I have with me. So the first thing I'd like to show you is a late harvest wine. This is a late harvest Torrontés, and it is from Argentina by a winemaker called Susana Bulba. Susana Bulba is actually one of the first women to own a winery, especially in Argentina, and I take great pride in that for her. So this is called a late harvest Torrontés. It's a 500 milliliter bottle, which is smaller than a standard bottle, which is 750. So you lose a couple of good ounces with this size, but you don't consider losing ounces, consider it gaining a new wine. It's a late harvest Torrontés. So a Torrontés grape is a spicy, dry grape. It makes really great white wine. Well, when you leave the grapes on the vine for a bit longer, and that depends on the winemaker, they make that choice. There's no real rule to it, I don't believe. And when the grapes tend to turn sweet and wither up, they're sweeter than more concentrate, like 5.0. And it's a little bit sweeter. Now, this is not an ice wine. It's not that sweet, but it is sweet, and it does pair well with white chocolate, okay? So white chocolate is supposed to be 35% cocoa butter in order for it to be considered white chocolate. Now, you see that white chocolate in the store that's made out of round discs. More than likely, it's just frosting. But real white chocolate has to have some responsibility to it. But this is a late harvest wine. There are many on the market. Doesn't have to be a Torrontés. It can be a Riesling. There are lots of late harvest Rieslings out there. There's a late harvest Malbec, which is a red wine. Yeah, she makes one of those as well, Susana Bo from Argentina. These wines, I believe, are around $20, $25 for the 500 milliliter. I've had it for a while. I don't remember exactly how much it was, and prices changed, so don't quote me on a price tonight. Don't quote me on a price tonight. But this is a beautiful wine. It's just sweet enough for you to go, oh, it's lovely, and it is lovely. So late harvest white wines are beautiful with white chocolates. And so I'll introduce the wines first. And this is an orange dessert wine. Isn't that pretty? Look at the little bottle. It's adorable, right? It's a charming little gift. It's an orange wine made from a Muscat grape, just one grape, just like the other one I had, the late harvest Torrontés. This is a beautiful little wine. It smells like orange blossoms and orange rinds. It has a floral taste and a little bit of jasmine when you taste it. A lot of floral in it, but it is sweet. It isn't shockingly sweet, but it is sweeter than a late harvest wine. This can pair real nice with milk chocolate as well as a white chocolate, okay? It's absolutely gorgeous, and here it is right here. It is Essentia from a company called Quady out of California, and it's really, really nice. It wasn't expensive at all. I'm not showing you anything terribly expensive, even though it is the holidays and we're spending wildly, I'm sure. I think that wine was around a $12, $15 price point, and it's a half bottle. If you saw the size, it's a half bottle. It does come in a full bottle. Yes, it does. And so let's talk about sparkling sweet wines, right? Now, I really had to bend my fingers backwards so that I didn't open this before we talk tonight. This is called Pinito. It is a bruschetta, and it is a sparkling red wine, and it is sweet. It'll be beautiful with milk chocolate, absolutely. Okay, it's a bruschetta. And this bottle, I think, was under $10. It does come in a full-size bottle as well. And some of our other shows, we've talked about the half bottles. I like them. I think they're charming. Believe me, I could drink a full bottle of wine with no trouble, but I don't always wish to, and I shouldn't always. So the half bottles play a really great role. They're also cost efficient. If you're trying to keep costs down with purchasing wines this holiday season, then you'll definitely want to consider a half bottle. Maybe you're having a guest over and they don't hold their liquor very well. You don't want them driving after you've been drinking at your house. We have to be responsible. If you open a half bottle, they're only going to have about a glass and a half. You're not going to worry about any of that. People tend to be not as nice sometimes when they drink. I tend to be really nice when I drink. But if you're not and you don't want that person getting carried away, just open up a half bottle, everybody, and just, control that situation. And if you don't know what it tastes like, and you may not know what this tastes like, buying a half bottle is a lot less risk. Okay, so that's a sparkling red wine, beautiful with milk chocolates. Now, let's talk about when you have dark chocolate. Dark chocolate meaning probably like 72% cacao, where you see the color is dark, it's sweet. It doesn't have as much milk in it. It's a different product. It tastes a little bit like raisins sometimes. You can use a red dry wine. To be really careful with this one, because if you use something with heavy tannins, it's going to interfere with the taste of any chocolate. And there are some wine professionals who say that a Cabernet and a Merlot go with dark chocolate. I say that it does not. And there's a lot of us that say it does not. That's ridiculous. But a low tannin red wine that's dry can pair with dark chocolate, like a Pinot Noir. This is a Pinot Noir half bottle again. This is from Bethel Heights, their estate collection. This is a 2016. As you can see, it's a half bottle. They're very low in tannins. They're very light red wines. They have some fruit on them, dark fruit, mainly blackberry, blueberry, cranberry if they're from Oregon. This one is from Oregon. And Oregon makes the most incredible Pinot Noirs ever. I'm completely hooked on them. I only buy them. And quite frankly, recently, I only suggest them. This bottle was probably about $20 for this half bottle, but it does come in a full bottle, and you just double the price, of course. It's a twist-off cap. It's a 2016. I found that peculiar that it has a twist-off cap. And I called them. These companies don't mind you calling. In fact, they enjoy it. I called and said, well, why wouldn't you put a cork so they continue aging? She says their data says that people who purchase half bottles with twist-off caps aren't looking to age the wine. They're going to drink it right away. Well, I proved their data correctly. This bottle was empty. I drank it within 48 hours of buying it and receiving it. So you probably more likely won't see much of a cork on unless it's a champagne. Obviously, if it's a champagne and it's a half bottle, you have to have a cork. But yeah, these half bottles are terrific. We aren't entertained the way we used to. We aren't spending the money that we used to. And so half bottles is really ergonomically correct for a lot of ways. Wouldn't you say so? So there's another red dry wine with low tannins that is fruit forward, and that is a Zinfandel. A Zinfandel from Lodi, California is a thing of beauty. This one is from Lodi, California. As you can see, it is 90 plus. All the wines I've showed you are 90 plus points with people like Wine Spectator, Robert Parker, Wilfred Wong, those types of people who judge. They're much more important than, well, everybody, but they are the ones who judge these things. But I usually agree with them, but I don't always agree with them. You don't have to agree with someone about wine, including me. If you don't like something, you don't like it, and that's okay. So this is a Zinfandel. I will say that the label is a little bit unsophisticated for me, and it's a little bit silly, but it has its merit, right? But this is a Zinfandel. Be careful when you buy one that you get one that's 100% Zinfandel, because sometimes they add other varietals of grape to it. mainly because the Zinfandel didn't come in all that terrific, and they had to put some other things with it to get the result that they were wanting. I kind of think that's sneaky, but hey, we all have to make a living. Just be careful as a buyer, whether you caveat emptor, buyer beware. But this bottle of wine, I believe it's around $18, $20. And the year on it, it's a 2018. I like red wines 2017 and older, but this one, I couldn't find one that was 100% Zinfandel. This is the only one that I could find that was, so I had to get 2018. But Zinfandel is very fruit forward, which means when you take a mouthful of it, you get a lot of fruit. You get raisins and blackberries, brambleberries for sure. Lots of brambleberries, a little bit of a nutmeg, but it does have very low tannins and lots of heavy fruit on the palate, which means it really works well with a dark chocolate. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So the other last one I have of this is a chocolate wine. It's from a company called Chocolate Shop. And I believe that this is a Merlot that is mixed with chocolate liqueur. And it is very sweet. And I do mean sweet. And it is a red wine that is sweet. This wine is around $10, $12 per bottle. This is a full-size bottle, everybody. 750 milliliters is a full bottle. And this is the only full bottle I have the Zinfandel. This only have 2 full bottles. So that is a chocolate wine. And they really have a nice smell. So let's get into some chocolates. Let's start with some inexpensive chocolates and move up to sticker shop chocolates. So the first chocolate I want to talk about is old childhood memories, right? This is old-fashioned Hershey's. This is their special dark. They come in smaller sizes, but why get a small one? You can get a big one. So this is their special dark, and it's very, very nice. It works well. It's only around maybe $2, $3. This is their extra large size. It comes in a smaller size, but this is their Hershey special dark. It's very dark. It has a nice bitter smell to it, and it will pair well with the Zinfandel, okay? Zinfandel or the Chocolate Shop or the Pinot Noir. Are we starting to follow me now a little bit about the pairing? Okay, so that's good old-fashioned Hershey's, okay? More Hershey's, everybody. I'm crazy over this next product. This is Hershey's organic milk chocolate. This is not dark, it's milk chocolate. Well, I was excited because the quality is different. This is nothing like that Hershey bar that we all know for 79 cents. This melts on your tongue the very minute it hits your tongue. It's very milky tasting. Color is beautiful. I think it's around $2 for this size bar, and there are more and more of them in the store than what was when they first started making the organic bar. But let me tell you, this is absolutely delicious for a couple of dollars. So if you're, want to stick with just a couple of bucks, try the organic Hershey's. You have to try this. It's nothing like the original. The texture is different, the smell's different, and it's just a whole nother product. It is smaller. It does cost a little more, but anyway, it's a lovely product, that Hershey's. I also have, Reese's has an organic product now. And I did try it recently. It is delicious. It's not the same chocolate bar that it is when it's in a regular. It tastes completely different. It isn't as sweet. It's a little bit denser. There seems to be more chocolate than the original one, and it isn't as sweet, and it tastes much more elevated for a grown-up. This is the elevated version of a Reese's cup, this organic one. And that's a couple of dollars. I think $1.99 at your local groceries, okay? So let's keep going. I want to show you another bar. It's from a company called Flair Chocolatiers. Flair Chocolatiers is in New York City. This is the box. Okay, this is the box. And what's inside will blow your mind. It is a pink chocolate bar. Okay, I've had them before. This is unopened, and you have no idea what strength it took not to open it, gobble this whole chocolate bar down before tonight's class. I love chocolate. This is a pink chocolate bar. It is not dyed. It is not any games been played with it. It's from a pink cacao, and it's a natural occurrence. It's one of the first new chocolates in probably 80 years, they're saying. Ta-da! And there it is. It's called Ruby Chocolate. Isn't that the prettiest thing you ever saw? Yes, it is. And it has the nibs where you can break it. So if you want to only have a couple of pieces, you can break it right off cleanly and store the rest in the foil in the box. They taste like wild, fresh strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and chocolate. It's an overwhelming taste of berry. I love these. They also have other flavors of this ruby chocolate, something called fig and praline. I think there's a matcha and a one with nuts. Just go to their website and check them out. The bars, well, you know, they're around $15 plus shipping, but anyway, it's called ruby chocolate. And if you have not had this fine Belgian chocolate, it is Belgian chocolate, you are missing out. It's one of the hippest things going. They've been around, I think, for about 4 years now. But anyway, it's a ruby chocolate, and it pairs beautiful with a late harvest wine, a late harvest white wine, okay? It also can pair with like a Vouvray, I'm sorry, not a Vouvray, a Viognier. A Viognier is a floral scent wine. It's gorgeous, and it has lots of peach and vanilla. It's a little bit creamy. It's smooth around the mouthfeel, and it isn't dry. It's more like what they call off dry. That's the reference. It would pair well with the ruby chocolate. Okay, so if you don't want to go real sweet, everybody, you can go with like a Viognier. Ice wine, if you want to go super sweet, would pair with this beautiful ruby chocolate. But I'm excited. I love ruby chocolate. So we have some other things as well. There's a company called Christopher Elbows. Now, I will say this is not my favorite chocolate of the evening, but in case you run upon it, you'll know what it's like. Okay, this is one of their bars. It's milk chocolate and speculoos cookie. The speculoos cookie is like a European cookie with lots of spices and brown sugar. And one of the things that I don't care for about the bar is, I'll open it for you. It doesn't have any demarcation lines where you can break it cleanly. It's just a bar. You see what I'm saying? It's milk chocolate. Something about that I don't care for, but it is delicious and it is fun to eat. They're only around $9. You can check out their website. I'm sure everybody's got a special now, but this is milk chocolate and like speculoos inside of it. But it definitely would go with the chocolate shop. It would go with the bruschetto that I showed you. Really good pairing. Okay. They also have another bar, and it is a, they say it's a white bar, but I say it isn't, because it only has 32% cocoa butter in it. That's not legally a white chocolate. It's 35%. But here's the problem. Take a look at this, everybody. It isn't white. I think what they did is blend everything in, including the cinnamon, the nutmeg. This one is called cherry streusel. I think they put everything in the batter and then poured it. I don't care for that. I think they should have left the chocolate white, and it is not. Does anybody have any questions so far? Any questions, anybody? Carla? All right, we'll move on. So this is a chocolate that actually sent this chocolate over just for this, and I think that's very cool. And they are in Salem, Massachusetts, and the company is called Harbor Sweets. It's a family-owned company. These chocolates are handmade. You heard me, handmade. This collection is called Salt and Air, and they are truffles. I'm sorry, I'm not going to open it right now, but they are truffles inside. The flavors are like chai, cafe au lait, and you can purchase various sizes of this. It is affordable, but they do have a collection called Salt and Air. They also have bars. They're much thicker, as you can see, and they have a demarcation line that you can break it. And it's handmade. They're handmade milk chocolates. This one is a dark chocolate with chopped almonds and sea salt. You will get a really good flavor with that. I love the taste of sea salt. It really does counteract the sweetness of the chocolate. Don't you agree? So those are their bars. They have several different kinds of bars. They have dark bars. Oh, they have something called Sweet Sloops. The Sweet Sloops is a confection that is both white and dark chocolate. And it has nuts on the end of the chocolate. It looks like a sail. They're delicious. So they do have bars, but here's my favorite, everybody. This is my favorite. It's called Sea Biscuit. We know there's a horse named Sea Biscuit and an equestrian. Well, these, I'll take a couple of them out. There's only a couple left. I'm sorry, I got into the candy like a bad girl. So this is wrapped in this gorgeous foil, which we're all so attracted to. I love gold, right? Gold and red. I am not a shy girl. So this particular confection is creamy, rich peanut butter placed on top of a savory cracker. Then it's coated in a really thick layer of chocolate, and they're really, really good. It's called Sea Biscuit, and it's from the company that I'm saying, Harbor Sweets, okay? They also sent me over a big box of gold foil selection chocolates. Here it is. And I'll slide out so you can take a peek at it. So this is what it looks like, unveiling it. Isn't that pretty so far? Don't you love this? And it comes with a ledger, so you can see what's in the box and what it tastes like. I love it when they have ledgers. You spend a few bucks when you've got a ledger on your chocolate. But this is what it kind of looks like. You can see it a little bit. If you can see it, can you see the chocolates, Carla? There you go. Any questions so far about anything I've said? We'll move on.
No, they look delicious though.
Oh my gosh, Harbor Sweets in Salem, Massachusetts. Check them out. So the next chocolate that I have is from a company called Hotel Chocolat. They're in New York as well. They also sent over chocolates. These chocolates are incredible. There's lots and lots of choices as to what you can purchase with this particular company. Let me show you a couple things that they have. They have boxes, and they also have, these are called, I believe these are called, when you get a 6-pack like that, they have a specific name. Oh, selectors. This is a pistachio selector. That green in there is all pistachio cream. Oh my gosh, these are so delicious. Okay. So they have several. This one is called Billionaire Shortbread, right? It's a hazelnut praline inside and a cookie crumble on top. And the chocolate is very, very snap from being tempered correctly, which is very important with chocolate. It should be tempered correctly if it's a gourmet. Now, here's some white chocolate that I said what pairs with it. This is called a lemon cheesecake. And it tastes exactly like lemon cheesecake. This is real white chocolate. It has been tempered, and it's 35% or more cocoa butter in it. So it is real white chocolate. The lemon is so strong, it will actually buck your eyes. It's so strong. These are marvelous. Each of these little packs have 6 pieces in them, enough to share with a friend or not. But this would definitely go with a white wine, definitely a nice Vidal Blanc ice wine. It would pair with the Viognier or a Vouvray, which has that floral, peachy, off-dry. It would pair nice with a late harvest Riesling. Any white chocolate will be nice with an late harvest Riesling. And there are lots of them on the market from Washington State and so forth. So the last of my chocolates this evening are the upper echelon of chocolates. These are the ones that have the OMG price tag to them. It's pronounced Neuhaus. So this is a box of Neuhaus. It is rich Belgian chocolate. They are world renowned, and they are worth every single dime. This particular collection is in the most gorgeous box you've ever laid eyes on, and it is a chocolate tasting box of chocolates. They're made just to do a wine tasting with. It's something new. They also have one for coffee. And this is, it may be difficult to show it to you, but I'll do my best. It comes with this booklet. This beautiful booklet tells you all about the chocolates and how to pair them. The reason it's so thick is because it's in other languages. So it's only the first 2 pages are in English. And the chocolates have 2 layers. So 24 in this particular box. I can't show you the next layer because I ate them. I'm terrible, right? I couldn't stop myself. This is not my fault, everybody. But here is this is kind of what they look like. Can you see them a little bit at least? Okay, here they are. Can you see them okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this one on the edge is pumpkin seeds and coriander and paprika. This one is almonds. This one is cherry. This is Earl Grey tea and honey, if you can stand it. And the last 2 are a hazelnut ganache. The bottom is extremely tempered and crisp and snap when you eat them. You can probably see the bottom of these. Let me find what it looks exactly like I want to look. Okay, yeah, take a look at that. The bottom, how shiny that is. Gourmet chocolates should be shiny. They should have a nice snap to them because they're tempered properly. That's their claim to fame. And you'll never be sorry that you invested into fine chocolates or a nice Hershey Select. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your life and making the most of it and living your best life. And sometimes that includes a few chocolates, maybe for $5 or maybe for $40. We don't know. We have to decide those things. Any questions or comments about the chocolates I've shown you?
Those are great. They look really delicious. And I'm inspired to go buy some expensive chocolate now.
Oh, I hope you do. And here's the thing. These companies tell you first off on the packaging, when you speak to them and on their website, not to refrigerate them. That is a temptation, right? I have a space where I keep my wine and I also keep the chocolates there. They're just cool. They're not cold. You keep them cool wherever that is for you. Right now, we all have the heat on in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. So there must be someplace sort of cool. But they do tell you not to refrigerate them, which, you're kind of surprised by that. But yeah, the chocolates and the wine are beautiful pairings. I like to watch old episodes of Taxi. Remember, I'm dating myself now with that nice smooth jazz music, chocolates, and a glass of wine. Chocolate coats your mouth the minute it starts to melt in there. Go ahead and take a sip or two of that wine while you have the chocolate in your mouth and let them mingle together and create a beautiful thing for you. That's one of the great times about tasting. But I love my chocolates with old episodes of Taxi or a movie or something like that, and have my wine, which I'm going to do when I'm finished spending my wonderful time with you all. And it's a wonderful way to spoil yourself. It's a wonderful way to give gifts during the holiday. It's a unique gift, actually, because it's a gift of confection, a gift of food. But there's lots of ways to enjoy them. They make wonderful birthday presents. Again, you can spend $3, $4 on organic chocolate or $40 on Neuhaus chocolate. It's up to you. Do what's best for you. But yeah, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to learn about the chocolates and to see how they pair with wine. It's a beautiful thing together.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, Wanda, and I've learned quite a bit. I've never heard of some of the chocolates that you mentioned, so that is, I've definitely learned something, and we appreciate you coming this evening.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. I wish everybody the most wonderful holiday season. Have your best lives and enjoy the chocolate and wine together. Email me and let me know what you think, and if you purchased anything, I would appreciate that as well. I'm at redwine500@yahoo.com, and I wish you a happy holidays, happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you, to you as well.